Good morning and welcome to the Breakfast News on Rajya Sabha TV. I'm Aishwarya Kapoor. Well, ISRO is all set for today's 20-in-1 mission. That is 20 satellites in a single rocket mission. Well, that is the big story this morning. We'll get you all the details on that. Let us begin with the headlines. All set for ISRO's historic launch today. In an unprecedented effort, the space agency is sending as many as 20 satellites on board a single rocket. Southwest monsoon covers almost 50% of the country. Heavy rains and lightning strikes lash parts of Bihar and Uttar Pradesh, killing 28 people. UP Chief Minister Akhilesh Yadav rules out a CBI probe into violence at Mathura, says BJP unnecessarily hyping the issue. And North Korea continues to defy the world, test fires 2 more missiles. While one of them fails, the fate of the second one is unclear. Well, the big story this morning are all eyes are on the ISRO's mega launch of 20 satellites on board one rocket. Well, the launch is slated a short while from now. It will see PSLV C-34 carry the satellites, including India's Earth observation spacecraft from the Sriharikota. The payload will include 17 satellites of various countries. Remember, ISRO has so far launched 57 satellites of foreign countries on 18 different PSLV missions.
The Indian Space Research Organisation will make a record of sorts when it launches 20 satellites in a single mission on Wednesday. The maximum number of satellites that ISRO has launched in a single mission so far is 10. The satellites will be launched on ISRO's most reliable rocket, PSLV C-34, at 9:25 a.m. from Sriharikota.
20 सैटेलाइट का लॉन्च करने के लिए काफ़ी एनालिसिस करना पड़ता है, क्योंकि हर एक सैटेलाइट को रिलीज़ करने के बाद जो मिशन के हिसाब से सेंटर ऑफ ग्रेविटी कहाँ जाता है और कैसे उसको रीओरिएंटेशन करना पड़ेगा और एक दूसरे से टक्कर ना करे, इसके लिए काफ़ी एनालिसिस करके हमको तैयार करना पड़ता है.
In its 36th flight, the Polar Satellite Launch Vehicle PSLV C-34 will launch the 727.5 kg Cartosat-2 series satellite to map the cartographic information of the Earth's surface and 19 co-passenger satellites. The co-passengers include 13 satellites from the USA, 2 from Canada, 1 from Germany and 1 from Indonesia, as well as 2 Indian nano-satellites. These 2 Indian satellites are named Swayam and Satyabhama University in Chennai.
इसमें करीब 1288 किलोग्राम का कुल मिला के पेलोड्स है. हमारा प्राइम पेलोड है करीब 700 किलोग्राम का है. मतलब आधा से करीब आधा वजन बाहर के जो पेलोड्स है उसमें से आता है. तो हमारा जो सैटेलाइट का लॉन्चिंग का कॉस्ट होगा हमको कम पड़ेगा इसमें, क्योंकि हमको करीब आधा कॉस्ट इससे रिकवर हो जाता है. तो हमारे लिए एक जैसे सब्सिडी हो जाएगा.
इसमें खास कर जो है ये है कि 2 सैटेलाइट इसमें जो होंगे इंडियन यूनिवर्सिटी से, जिसमें कि उन जगहों में कई सारे स्टूडेंट्स ने इसमें काम किया है. तो ये एक बहुत ही अच्छी जो है शुरुआत है, जिसमें जिन्होंने इसमें काम किया है उनकी जो इसमें क्षमता बढ़ रही है. इसके अलावा ये जो है औरों को भी कितना ही इंस्पायरिंग होगा.
ISRO launched 10 satellites in one go in 2008 when it placed them into various low Earth orbits. Aruna Thakur's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
And for more on this, let's go across to my colleague Aruna Thakur, who is joining us on the phone line. Aruna, now ISRO all set to launch into orbit 20 satellites in one go through its PSLV C-34 rocket. Tell us, what can we expect today and how important is this mission going to be?
Hi Aishwarya. This is a very major and important project of ISRO, as 20 satellites is a historic launch of the ISRO, as the 17 are of like commercial one and two nano satellites are from India. So in that sense, it will be a very mega project of ISRO, and it also it's an encouragement to the Indian students also, as the two of the Indian satellites are from Chennai as well as Pune University. So in that scenario, it's a real encouragement to the students who are involved in such projects.
Aruna, so far what we know is that it is going to create a record of sorts, because the maximum number of satellites really that ISRO has launched in one single mission is 10. This time it is going to be 20.
Yeah, Aishwarya, I want to tell you that in 2008, 10 satellites were launched. Until now, the record is of 10 satellites of launching from ISRO satellites. So, in that sense, launching 20 satellites in one go will be a record for ISRO, and moreover, coming to the Cartosat-2 series, because the prime satellite of this mission is the Cartosat-2 series, which is similar to the three satellites which are already launched, and it is a remote sensing satellite which will enhance the remote sensing capabilities in India.
Also, Aruna, tell us more about these satellites that are going to be launched, because we understand that these there were similar satellites that were launched earlier as well. So what is the significance of these satellites now?
So as I said, the ISRO Cartosat-2 series is already a satellite which is similar to the already launched satellites. They are similar to the remote sensing, which will enhance the land mapping, geographical mapping, and water distribution which are there in India. So it automatically enhances the capabilities of India with regard to the remote sensing. And it will also give in hand to the defense scrutiny and all that, because it's internal information that these will also help out the defense activities also.
All right.
So in that sense, coming to the other 17 satellites, these are the commercial ones. So it will enhance the revenue of the ISRO. So, and apart from these 17 satellites, 2 are nano satellites, which are, these are the, prepared and well recorded for the Indian students, and it is maintained for their research work also.
All right.
So, in that sense, it's an encouragement to their research work, which will enhance their data collection and all that.
All right, Aruna, thank you so much for those details. You keep tracking all those developments. Remember, this liftoff is scheduled at around 9:25 a.m. from Sriharikota. We'll get you all the details the moment it happens. Let's move on in the bulletin now. Well, as part of the celebrations of the second International Day of Yoga, Ministry of Ayush has organized a 2-day international conference titled Yoga for Body and Beyond, starting today. Now, Vice President Mohammad Hamid Ansari will inaugurate the conference. Lok Sabha Speaker Sumitra Mahajan, along with the Shripad Yeso Naik, MOS Ayush Ministry, Swami Ramdev, and many other dignitaries will also grace the inaugural session. Now, delegates from 32 countries are attending the conference that will see the participation of international delegates from 70 countries like Iraq, Afghanistan, Algeria, Malaysia, Spain, Russia, Portugal, Australia, and several other nations as well. Eminent yoga gurus, also experts, will extensively deliberate upon various themes such as yoga and physical well-being, insights from yoga scholars, yoga for body and beyond. There will also be a panel discussion and an open-ended session on experience sharing by foreign delegates. Well, the increased focus on yoga by the Narendra Modi-led NDA government appears to have improved job opportunities in yoga training. Well, according to a recent study conducted by ASSOCHAM, the demand for yoga trainers is likely to grow by 40% in the next couple of years. Even yoga tourism is fast catching up.
The big yoga push by the NDA government has increased the job prospects of those who have graduated in the subject. An increased awareness towards wellness and health-related activities has augmented this trend. Even small towns are seeing a big surge in enrollments for yoga classes. About 14.3 million people in India practiced yoga in 2013, more than double from the 6.3 million in 2001. Celebrities have also contributed to the popularity of the discipline.
We see that on an average, there is a 40% demand of the instructors in the corporate sector itself. And as the focus of the government increases and the layout and more awareness increases, it's likely to go up.
The government is also drawing out a roadmap to promote yoga as a product to attract more tourists in the country. It has also decided to give tourist visas and e-tourist visas to foreigners willing to undergo short-term courses on yoga.
Ayurveda, yoga will be the constituents of this project, and it will be boost India's economy and India's heritage. I think it will be good. We will get a good response from them.
India's yogic culture spread worldwide since Swami Vivekananda presented it to the world in Chicago in 1893. And after Prime Minister Narendra Modi proposed the idea, the UN General Assembly adopted an India-led resolution declaring June 21 as International Day of Yoga. Kriti Mishra, Rajya TV.
Well, now let's get you the weather update. In the southwest, monsoon has covered almost half of the country, including Jammu and Kashmir, Rajasthan and Himachal Pradesh. Now, heavy rains, however, lashed large parts of Bihar and Uttar Pradesh, in which many were killed due to lightning strikes in the past 24 hours. Pre-monsoon showers lashed parts of Jammu Kashmir, Rajasthan and Himachal Pradesh, with many areas witnessing moderate rainfall in the past 24 hours. The Met Office said widespread rains were expected in the region, with heavy rains at many places.
हिमाचल प्रदेश के लगभग सभी स्थानों में मानसून अप्रोच किया है। कुछ एक इलाकों को छोड़कर जो कि डिस्ट्रिक्ट सिरमौर, सोलन और ऊना के जो बिल्कुल लोअर इलाके हैं वहाँ पे मानसून अप्रोच नहीं किया। बाकी सभी जगह मानसून अप्रोच किया है और ये सामान्य से 4-5 दिन अर्ली है। आने वाले जो 24 आवर्स में हिमाचल प्रदेश के बहुत सारे इलाकों में बारिश हो सकती है और कुछ एक इलाकों में हैवी बारिश होने की भी प्रोबेबिलिटी है।
Heavy rains were also seen in many parts of Punjab and Uttar Pradesh. However, Delhi had a very humid day, a day after rains hit the national capital. Heavy rains also triggered landslides at several places. The Jammu Kashmir National Highway was closed, leading to long queues of vehicles.
ये आगे से कोई पस्सी गिर गई हुई है जी, उसके कारण ये सारा रास्ता रुक गया हुआ है। आवाजाही में बहुत ज़्यादा दिक्कत आ रही है। बारिश बहुत ज़्यादा तेज है जी, बहुत ज़्यादा तेज है और सुबह से 4 बजे से बारिश लगी हुई है।
In Bihar, at least 28 people were killed in lightning strikes in the past 24 hours as rains lashed the state. In Uttar Pradesh, as many as 13 people, including 9 minors, were killed due to lightning strikes and wall collapses after heavy rainfall in many parts. The Met Department has forecast rains or thunder showers at many places in western Uttar Pradesh and a few places in eastern Uttar Pradesh in the next 10 days. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV. Let's move on in the bulletin. Well, the Pathankot air base could come under a fresh terror attack. The Parliamentary Standing Committee on Home Affairs has reported this on the basis of reports stating that the terrorists could be hiding in nearby villages. Now, the committee was in Jammu to review the security arrangements on the international border and had earlier gone to Pathankot. It said the government was informed about the threat, after which the security of the facility has been strengthened. Now, chairman of the committee, P. Bhattacharya, told reporters that the government handed over the security of the air base to the CRPF, BSF and the army. The committee also claimed that it did not favour the idea of the government bringing the intelligence branch of Pakistan to Delhi. Now, a 5-member a joint investigation team from Pakistan had visited India between 27th of March and 31st of March to collect evidence about the attack.
Oh, they have guarded this airstrip. Because some of the terrorist people, they are hiding there. And how they are hiding there, it is not my business to find out. But as we got the information from the villagers, it was seen to us, it was very clear to us that they are hiding somewhere. We have informed it to the government of India. You find out this thing. And after that, they send the military and other paramilitary forces there to find out that thing.
Now, news from Delhi, and the anti-corruption branch filed a case in the alleged 400 crore rupees water tanker scam of Delhi Jal Board and will question both Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal and former Chief Minister Sheila Dikshit in the case if required. Now, Arvind Kejriwal lashed out at the centre for targeting him. He said he will not get intimidated by false charges. The BJP has demanded Kejriwal's resignation over the tanker scam. Remember, the tanker scam relates to allegations between 2008 and 2011. The Congress-led government by Sheila Dikshit bypassed rules and caused losses worth 400 crore rupees while giving tenders to water tanker companies, allegedly a much higher rates. Now, BJP lawmaker Vijayendra Gupta has also filed a second complaint alleging that the scam continued after AAP government took power.
एक पर्टिकुलर कंपनी को हटा के दूसरी कंपनी को कॉन्ट्रैक्ट दिया तो उससे लॉस हुआ, क्योंकि अगर प्रॉपर प्रोसीजर अडॉप्ट करते तो ये इतना लॉस नहीं होता। अगर ज़रूरत पड़ी तो हम दोनों से पूछताछ करेंगे। इसके अलावा जो कंसर्न लोग हैं जो इस मैटर से कनेक्टेड है, सबसे पूछताछ होगी।
मोदी जी ने बाकी सबको रेड करा के झूठे केस करके एफआईआर करके डरा दिया, धमका दिया। अकेला मैं खड़ा हूं चट्टान की तरह, जो मोदी जी के कुकर्मों के खिलाफ आवाज उठा रहा हूं और उसके खिलाफ संघर्ष कर रहा हूं।
आपने उस पर कोई एफआईआर नहीं की, आपने उस पर कोई कॉग्निजेंस नहीं लिया, आपने कोई इस पर एक्शन नहीं लिया। इसका मतलब आपकी मैलाफाइड इंटेंशन है और आप उसमें पूरी तरह से इन्वॉल्व हैं।
News from Uttar Pradesh now, and the Chief Minister Akhilesh Yadav has rejected demands for a CBI probe into the Mathura violence in which 29 people, including a superintendent of police and an SHO, were killed. Now, the BJP has been repeatedly demanding a CBI probe into the violence earlier this month when police tried to evict activists of an organization from large tracts of land illegally occupied by them. Now, 29 people, including an SP and an SHO, were killed in the violence. Akhilesh Yadav claimed that the BJP was unnecessarily hyping the issue. And in Bengal, there are more signs of a growing opposition to the Congress tie-up with the CPM. Now, this time, the Left Front has decided not to invite the Congress to a protest rally against price rise in the city. The rally will, however, be attended by all the left constituents and also the allies like the JDU and the RJD. Now, this follows a day after the CPM Central Committee review of last month's assembly election results witnessed some dramatic scenes. Now, a member, Jagmati Sangman, resigned in protest against the party for not taking action against its Bengal leadership for a poll tie-up with the Congress. The party later expelled her for gross indiscipline. Now, Sangwan made her protest public after the committee said that the tie-up with the Congress was not in consonance with the party line, but not a violation either. And in Breakfast News, we'll take a very short break. We'll be back with more news. Stay with us.
Welcome to this episode of Eureka. We are with us Dr. Kiran Kumar.
Well, the target was 22. Two of the satellites from one of the customers, last minute they had to drop out because certain tests which they were doing, they did not succeed in that. So they have to, we will be giving an opportunity in a later launch.
Okay.
So far we have done about 21 countries.
Okay.
For different 21 countries we have launched the satellite. 57 is our last number. With this it will become 57 plus another 70.
Watch Eureka with Dr. A.S. Kiran Kumar, Chairman ISRO, only on Rajya Sabha TV.
Welcome back. Now, in a boost to India's bid for an NSG membership, China for the first time has said that the door was open for discussions on the issue. However, China also pushed for Pakistan's bid to join the group, defending the country's nuclear record. Well, the discussions on India's membership will take place in an expert-level meeting today, that is preceding the plenary session that happens tomorrow in Seoul.
India's hopes of making it to the nuclear suppliers group became more realistic after China changed its stance on India, saying doors were open for discussions on the issue. Just on Monday, Beijing had said that India's application to join the group was not on the agenda of the bloc's annual plenary scheduled to meet this week in Seoul. China, which leads a group of nations opposing India's membership, however, asked the 48-member NSG to stay focused on whether the criteria should be changed for entry of non-NPT countries into the elite group. China is also pushing for its ally Pakistan's bid to join the group and defended the country's non-proliferation record. China argued that any exemption to India for NSG entry should also be given to Pakistan. Pakistan had applied for NSG membership a week after India submitted its membership application. Meanwhile, the US has once again expressed its complete support to India's bid and requested other NSG members to consider India's application in the plenary meet.
We believe, and this has been US policy for some time, that India is ready for membership And the United States calls on participating governments to support India's application at the plenary later this week.
To further push India's bid, Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be meeting Chinese President Xi Jinping on the sidelines of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization Summit in Tashkent on Thursday. India has asserted that being a signatory to the NPT is not essential for joining the NSG, as there has been a precedent in this regard, citing the case of France. A seat at the NSG would strengthen India's geopolitical clout and help it capitalize on nuclear trade and technology transfer opportunities. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Now let's bring you the big international story. Well, North Korea has tried but failed in its latest attempt to fire now 2 powerful new medium-range missiles with an estimated range of 3,000 kilometers. Now these missiles' range covers the whole of South Korea as well as Japan, as well as US military bases in Guam. Well, the tests come after Pyongyang's 4th nuclear test and a long-range rocket launch that saw the UNSC impose its toughest sanctions to date on that country. Another missile test by North Korea, disregarding warnings by Pentagon and its neighbors. Pyongyang tested 2 missiles, both powerful intermediate-range Musudans. While the first was a failure, the fate of the second one was unclear. The Musudans have a range of 3,000 kilometers that can easily hit South Korea, Japan, and the US base of Guam.
우리 정부는 북한의 미사일 추가 발사 가능성을 염두에 두고 관련 징후를 면밀히 추적하고 있습니다. 만약에 북한이 미사일을 또 추가 발사한다면 그것은 국제사회의 거듭된 경고를 무시하는 것이 되고 또 유엔 안보리 결의를
North Korea made at least 4 previous attempts this year to test this type of missile. First unveiled as an indigenous missile at a military parade in Pyongyang in October 2010, the Musudan was never successfully flight tested. South Korea condemned the test, while Japan said it would shoot down any missile if its trajectory was over the country.
이것은 결국 북한을 더욱더 국제사회로부터 고립시키는 것이 될 것이고, 만약 그 경우에는 정부로서는 우방국들과 함께 유엔 등의 조치를 취할 예정입니다.
Earlier this year, North Korea conducted a nuclear test and a space rocket launch that led to UN Security Council tightening sanctions against it. But undeterred, Pyongyang has continued a series of weapons-related activities. Interestingly, during the 18 years of Kim Jong-un's reign in North Korea, the country conducted 18 missile tests. But within just 4 years, his son, the younger Kim, has overseen 26 missile launches. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV. Some more international news now. Here is the World Wrap. Ahead of Britain's EU referendum, the Leave and Stay sides traded blows at the Wembley Arena before an audience of 6,000 people. The great debate featured almost 2 hours of questions on immigration, the economy and sovereignty. The debate, the biggest of the EU referendum campaign, represented a final chance for the 2 campaigns to get their points across ahead of tomorrow's poll. Air France's pilot unions have cancelled a 4-day strike scheduled for later this week after reaching an agreement on working conditions. 3 unions said that the management of Air France has agreed to suspend measures that would have resulted in salary cuts and staff reductions. And remember, the pilots' last strike, which grounded over 20% of the flights, hit France on 11th to 14th of June as it was gripped by social unrest over a series of disputed labour reforms the president is trying to enforce. Iraq's elite military force says that it has made significant progress in purging Islamic State from the city of Fallujah after a joint offensive killed 2,500 militants. However, a US military commander in Baghdad has said that Iraqi forces had cleared only a third of the city and the rest remains contested. Iraq's Prime Minister had announced Fallujah's liberation on Friday after the city council building was retaken. 2 men from California were found guilty of plotting to provide material support to the Islamic State militant group, with one of them going so far as to attempt to travel to the Middle East to join them. Now, a federal court convicted Nader Ethuyair and Mohammed Badawi after a 2-week trial. The pair were arrested last year. On to some cricket news now. And a rejuvenated India will have their heads up when they take on Zimbabwe in the series deciding third and the final T20 international today. India entered the series on the back of a 3-0 whitewash of Zimbabwe in the preceding ODI series, but suffered a shocking 2-run loss to the hosts in the opening T20 last Saturday. The visitors got their act together in the second game yesterday and inflicted a crushing 10-wicket defeat on Zimbabwe. Now, there may be no changes in the playing 11 for India today. Host Zimbabwe also may think of making a few changes, however. Now, Hamilton Masakzada is struggling at the top and Zimbabwe may replace him or probably bring in somewhere in the middle order. MS Dhoni's young brigade will be keen to end the Zimbabwe tour with a win and thus clinch another series win against the African side. And now on to some Euro Cup action. Well, Northern Ireland joined Germany and Poland in the last 16 of the European Championship on Tuesday after finishing as one of the best third-place teams, while Croatia ended Spain's 14-game unbeaten run at the European Championship since losing to Portugal in Euro 2004.
In the first match of Tuesday, Germany's Mario Gomez scored in the first half to secure a 1-0 win over a stubborn Northern Ireland side and a place in the last 16 of the Euro 2016 as Group C winners.
Just inside the opening half an hour,
Although the world champions wasted countless chances, with Thomas Müller notably hitting the woodwork twice, they were never threatened by the Irish. Northern Ireland lost the game, but they still managed to sail through to the next round on goal difference. They will now meet either Wales or France for a place in the quarterfinals. In another encounter, a second-half strike by substitute Jakub booked Poland's ticket into the last 16 and sent hapless Ukraine home without a point.
Picture book goal for Jakub Blaszczykowski.
Fiorentina veteran Jakub scored minutes from his introduction at half-time to decide the tie. Ukraine became the first side to be eliminated from Euro 2016. Meanwhile, Turkey kept alive their faint hopes of reaching the last 16 and eliminated the Czech Republic with a hard-fought victory in Lens. A neat finish from Burak Yilmaz put them ahead, prompting Czech pressure, which saw Thomas Sivok hit the post.
It's a wonderful start for Turkey! Their first goal in France!
Volkan Babakan made a string of saves before Ozan Tufan smashed in from 10 yards to move Turkey third in Group D. After defeats against Croatia and Spain in the first two games, the win has rejuvenated Turkish hopes. Arguably, the biggest surprise of the tournament came on the final fixtures day for Group D, when Spain were beaten 2-1 by Croatia.
Boy, is Morata going to claim it?
Alvaro Morata's early strike got Spain off to a flying start, but Croatia battled back to equalize before half-time through Nikola Kalinic.
At this European Championship.
Midfielder Ivan Perisic struck a sensational winner 3 minutes from time to end Spain's 14-game unbeaten run at the European Championship. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, that's all in this edition of news, but news and updates continue on your channel. Thanks so much for watching.